So continuing on with the how to improve RTS series. Now this one is going to be purely on sort of like revamps, updating old features and whatnot. As let's be honest, lots of things in RTS get forgotten about, don't care. It's most of the time people just don't really care, and Scopely don't care either, so nothing really happens to it. That's normally the consensus. So, first of all, to start this off, let's start off with something nice and simple. I'm going to start with leagues. Now, leagues for me, I think, is an interesting one, because I don't think anything in here is particularly bad by any means. I think, there's a decent bit in here. You got your watches there, you got all your gear you need for, like, S classes and whatnot. But now we're in mythics, you can farm any of this stuff here. So all of this here, you can farm. There is no real need to have it. Yeah, the mod boxes are nice. Yeah, you can get some varnish, some grease. You get a little bit of weapon stuff here. But overall, it's outdated. You don't need any of this. You can just farm it in the roadmap, nice and easy, just like that. And best thing is you don't have to spend the league points. Now, I know we haven't seen a lot of league points recently, but I do think this needs to be updated. Now, what do I think should be in here? Right, so I think they should section off. Have one for energy, have one bit for armory, and have one bit for mods. I would say. I think like 3 sections would be nice, and then at the end, I don't know, maybe have some medals as well. So I think they should be sectioned off into categories depending on what you might need. You can just go in there and get what you need, sort of thing. So yeah, I think that'll be a nice little update. So you have your world energy, SR energy, and all that shit. Obviously, you have your same refresh timers and whatnot. You have your armory. You have your medals. I think that'd be a nice improvement, considering most of this stuff here it's kind of outdated and nobody's really buying it anymore, just because you don't need it. Now, what else in the game has been neglected and needs updating and whatnot? So I'm just gonna do my favorite one that has not been updated since probably the game's launch, and I think it is hilarious that it's still in the game. So we're going in here. We're going into general. First of all, fill food for 8,000 coins. You're taking the piss. You're taking the fucking piss. So, get rid of fill the food. Get rid of fill the materials. You keep the energy there if you want. I still think it's ridiculously overpriced. Character cap. I mean, I don't think anyone needs that. If you got Survivors Club, you definitely don't need that. I know back in the day, probably a lot of people did buy this. Which is pretty cool. But here's another strange one. Who's buying repetition? Who's buying ceasefires? All it does is prevent you from getting attacked. Who is buying that? 8 hours for 180 coins. That is a fucking joke. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. No one is buying this. But. My favourite bit that's not been updated since the game's start, and I don't think it will ever get changed, is this little bad boy here. So, if you want a work glove, you need to spend 5 gold on it. If you want some grease, 45 coins. If you want some sandpaper, 150 coins. A gas mask, 100 coins. As you can see, this is fucking ridiculous, because all of this is massively available. For example, I've got a few thousand grease probably in my roster. I can farm a few thousand alpenstock. I can farm all of this. So why in fuck's name would anyone ever want to buy this? Even a brand new player, brand new, fresh off the game, within a week they can get access to all of this for absolutely free. So with this being said, get rid of it or update it. I don't know what you would update it to, because like I said, most things in the game is fairly accessible at the moment. So I don't know, get rid of it is my general consensus. Now, there is a few more things in the game that still need updating. So, I think it's a small one, but I think it could be cool to see what they do. So, the workshop, it's not really been updated since, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, whatever you want to call. So, yeah, the top ones are pretty good, but deluxe replenishes and whatnot, they're kind of shit. So, I say just bump the workshop up to level 30. Give us some new cool items to use in battle, in Walker stages and whatnot. I reckon it could be a fun little thing to update. Don't have to be anything crazy, but could do with a little update. Now, some more important updates that could be definitely implemented into the game to give people a lot more of a I could get this. So, supply depot. First of all, yeah, it's still shit. Like I don't need 6 stars. I don't need 5 stars. I definitely don't need 4 stars. Um, Obviously the world energy is great. The weapons, definitely need some different weapons in there. It's been the same weapons forever, so maybe get some new weapons in there. Maybe get some 5 star weapons in there for a lot more supply depot points. I think that'd be good. Having some unique 5 star weapons in there, like the Empire weapon, the Absolute Defense Axe, the Jesus like Samurai little sword, the 20% AP weapon, some unique weapons like that. I think you could put in there for the 4 star and 5 star slot. Um, Maybe some armory tokens in there, blow torches. I don't know. Just update it. Like Ascendance medals, I'm not taking the piss, but 30,000 Ascendance medals. Nobody's really ascending anymore, so kind of useless slot. And like I said, the 4, 5, and 6 stars are useless. The trainers, it's in low quantities and it's pretty overpriced, so I'm not a big fan of that either. And then S-class shard box. I mean, I'm okay with that staying there personally because some people like collecting S classes. It's good for S class arenas and whatnot, so it does have a use. But I would say put some newer cards in there, just to make it a little bit easier, and also bump up the quantities because 130 cards, or I'm not sure how many cards it is, like 200 cards, I think it is. Yeah, 200 cards. It's just not a lot of cards, so maybe bump it up to like 400, 600, 800. Just since S classes, they're gonna be, well, they are useless. Yeah. Gear markers. Same thing with this. Just update it. Yeah. Like all of this here can be farmed, so there's no need for it to be there. So definitely update that. Obviously the food there is absolutely amazing. Never get rid of that. So yeah, keep that there. But all of this here just needs to be swapped around, as it's pretty shit. Now for this one here, there's a few things here that need updating. First of all, the pricing needs a revamp because everything is incredibly fucking overpriced. So, first of all, you can keep the Dwight up there. The Dwight, the silver mythics, you can keep that there. That can always be like a mythic slot. The Brady, incredibly overpriced. It's utter shit. The multi-tool knife is useless because you were using that on your Ezekiel, on your, I think it was Jesus as well. So without your Jesus and without your Ezekiel, what's the point? Oh no, it was Ezekiel and Magna. It was Ezekiel and Magna. But without them in there, what's the point in having the multi-tool knife? There's none. 67,000 on sale for 100 cards of S-Class. That is incredibly insulting. You can get more from just running the daily roadmap. So yeah, get rid of that. It's incredibly insulting to think anyone would pay that. And again, 27,000 supply markers for 5,000 mod scraps. It's a joke. And then this here, 75,000 for Ascendance medals. Get out of here, you're absolutely crazy. And then for mods here, I mean, 7% at 40,000, it's shit. Get rid of it. And then the Platinum mod is always welcome because it is very nice to have. But for the most of it, the survival markers need a heavy revamp. What I recommend is put some new SR exclusive tunes in there. Also, put some more relevant items in there. Maybe if you want to keep the S classes in there, put boxes in there for a lot cheaper and a lot more in there. Trainers gotta go down tremendously in price. But yeah, everything in there just needs a revamp pretty much. Keep the top left, keep the bottom right. That's it. Assault. Yeah, Assault needs an update. What can I say? My faction doesn't run Assault anymore because what's the fucking point? It doesn't give out much tokens for what everything's worth, and plus, it's just a waste of tokens. Maybe they'll do an event with the tokens in the future, but it's just a waste of fucking time in the moment. So everything in here needs a revamp, including the event. It's just shite. Everything overpriced. I don't need to buy a 5-star for 7,000 assault tokens. I don't need a walkie-talkie for 10,000 tokens. A bag of 4-star tokens, 500 tokens. Get the fuck out of there. Everything in here is shit, and everything needs a revamp. It is horrible. Now I know Scody said they're gonna revamp it since literally you can fit the amount of people that do it on a school bus, daily. So they are gonna revamp that. So I trust everything in there is going to revamp and getting appropriate rewards for doing so. Now, with that being said, we went over the workshop, we went over the general store, we went over League Store, we went over the depots. There is also a little thing else. So while we're on the talk of revamping and giving some value to things, I'm going to bring up rep. Now, rep in the game has always been fucking useless. It's just pretty much how much you raid. Do you give a fuck about your numbers going up, down? You know, it's not really a big if or but. But I do think rep should be... There should be something done with rep. I don't know what to do with rep, but something needs to be done with it because it's just a number. Maybe the higher you go up in rep, maybe there's a cool little, I don't know, background, border, a character, just something cool to reward people for their achievements, like going up 100k rep, 200, 300, 400, 500, all the way up into a million plus. I think something should be rewarded just to show people's dedication to raiding that much, getting it that high up. I think something should be done with it. I don't think any boosts or anything should be rewarded for it because some people just genuinely don't give a fuck about it. But I do think Scavenger should acknowledge people's achievements in rep. Now, my final thing in this video is going to be one other thing that's been heavily neglected in the game. Now, first of all, if I miss anything off in this video, please leave a comment in the description below. And then maybe if Scoopy looks at the video, they can take note and improve upon these areas. But the last thing I want to talk about is Scav. Level 20. Now, granted, I still have from I'm a day. I would say I'm day one player. I was day one player. I quit for a little bit. Then I came back like a few months later when 3-star, 4-stars were still relevant. But I still haven't done these downtown missions because if I go too far in, it makes it harder to get this You Got Lucky. Now, granted, I don't even use You Got Lucky anymore because it's not really a big thing when you got mythics and S-classes needing so much XP. But without looking at the prestige missions, look at the rewards for some of this. Like, what is the fucking point? 700 material. Yes, I can instantly skip it, but 700 material. What the fuck am I doing with that? Scroll down. 4,000 material for 4 hours of a scav mission. Scroll down a bit more. 8 hours for 47,000 material. As you can see where this is going. 5 days for adrenaline rush boost. Well, that's fucking useless, isn't it now? Because mythics, you don't need to level up adrenaline rushes. So as you can see, it's 2 days for 2 days for a war energy, 1 day for a raid energy. As you can see, all of this is heavily outdated and needs an urgent revamp because nobody's using scav missions anymore, except for maybe You Got Luckies, and maybe they want a few skip tokens as well. But let's be honest, it's a joke. All of this needs a heavy rework, and then maybe people are actually using scav camps again, because at the moment nobody's using scav camps. Maybe you can bump it up to level 30. Maybe you can just completely take away the prestige missions, and then just generally improve it. But with that being said, that's going to cut it for just the improvements and revamps section of the improvement series. I will try and get another section out to this series sometime this week. No promises, but I'll try. And then leave your comments down below of what you think needs to be revamped or updated, and then like, comment, subscribe. Continue the discussion in Discord if you want. My Discord link will be in the description below. Apart from that, peace out, have a good day, have a good night wherever you are, and have a good day.